Mississippi. It's an interstate matchup between Louisiana and Mississippi, and we were in the locker room with both coaches.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You only get to play high school football one time in your life. Just one time you get to play high school football. Let's take this time, let's embrace it, and let's do what we do.
And I'm talking physical football. Physical football. You don't come up here 3 hours. You don't put on your jerseys to lay an egg on the stage. Physical, nasty, arrogant football to the whistle. When the whistle's up, you want to help them up, that's fine by me.
Welcome to the 2015 Geico ESPN High School Showcase. Eastern Mississippi tonight, and they are ready for the kids from Louisiana, Archbishop Rummel, to take on Wayne County's War Eagles. Thanks so much for joining us once again for high school football. Jason Benetti alongside my broadcast partner Craig Auburn, ESPN's National Recruiting Coordinator. We are locked in on defense tonight. Some very highly rated future SEC prospects.
That's right, partner. Several potential defensive difference makers in this game. And when you're talking about that group, you've got to start with the 5-star, Benito Jones. This is a player, when you watch his film, you often hear the word wow thrown about. He is that type of disruptive playmaker. Outstanding first step quickness and snap anticipation. The get off. You're going to see the right guard trying to pull here. He's going to beat him past the mesh point and disrupt the play in the backfield. Not just quick, but also good awareness. He's going to jump in the hip pocket of the pulling tackle, find him, follow him down the line. And if you're not sure who has the ball, just take everybody out. And then once again, I cannot stress the potential difference-making first-step quickness that number 95 possesses. He is past the center before he is even out of his stance and blowing plays up right away. You've always got to know where he is.
We'll also be watching Christian Fulton, the defensive back, number 35 of the ESPN 300, one of the top 5 cornerbacks in the country, still undecided on where he'll go play on Saturdays. 3 of the top 155 defensive players in the country are here tonight. David Hensley back to receive for Archbishop Rummel. Great crowd on hand in Eastern Mississippi. And away we go tonight. Good start for Archbishop Rummel in terms of field position. So referee Jackie Hawthorne. Good field position coming for Archbishop Rummel.
Absolutely. Never want to start the game off with a special team snafu and giving an offense like Archbishop Rummel. Good field position. They are a 2-back team. They want to get physical, establish the line of scrimmage, run the football, then use the play action pass off of that.
How about a whistle first? An offense that scored so far 72 points in 2 games this season.
I got dead balls outside under defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. We play first down.
So it goes against Wayne County. There you see the head coach, Jay Roth, the former Archbishop Rummel quarterback in his own right. Now the head coach of his team from Metairie, Louisiana, about 2.5 hours to the west near New Orleans. First look at the running game, and Israel Tucker with a strong run inside War Eagle field position, and that's the type of offense we'll see today from Rummel, gain of 23.
The left guard is going to pull. He's going to lead up for Israel Tucker. There's going to be a big seam right here. The guard didn't even have anybody to block till he got to the second level. Then luckily the safety was there to be able to clean it up and take him down. But a big gain for Israel Tucker and this Archbishop Rummel offense. That's what they want to do. They want to be physical, but they can create some holes for some big runs as well.
They're going to be dealing all day with 95 in navy blue. Benito Jones on the defensive line. One of the top defensive line prospects in America, committed to Ole Miss. And on the ground, nowhere to go. That's Jamarcus Fisher, the junior, up for the safety spot, and a loss of 1 on the play. Big run stopper from that safety spot. They like Jamarcus Fisher in that third level against the run.
Absolutely. This Wayne defense, the philosophy for them, speaking with Coach Magnum, is 11 guys to the football. They expect you to run and tackle every play.
Senior quarterback Chase Forcade. First throw for him goes to David Hensley, his classmate. And he navigates all the way inside the 30 for a first down.
Now, Archbishop Rummel coming into this game, obviously Benito Jones was the big name, but he was really worried about that entire defensive line. So if you're going to get penetration, what do? You work the screen game. You let those defensive linemen get upfield. On this play, they ran the screen to the wide receiver for a big gain.
You saw Jones was the first one in there.
That's it. Induce him upfield and then throw the ball right behind him. Screens, the draws.
6'1", 304. Committed to Ole Miss, Benito Jones. Wildcat to Tucker, and the ball's on the deck. Wayne County's got it. DeAndre Gandy, the tackle leader for Wayne County, as the first turnover.
That was an interesting play from the get-go. There was movement. It's before the ball was even snapped, and then you're going to watch the tight end is off before the ball is snapped, and then good pursuit found, and the running back ran into the blocker right behind him and popped loose. The ball popped loose, and a big turnover for the Wayne defense. That was just a weird-looking play from the word go. Turned out in the benefit of Wayne as they get to take over the offensive possession.
Reggie Stewart, the senior quarterback, they say, it didn't look like a prototypical quarterback. He's 5'7", but he's athletic and he can wing it. Freddie Jordan, the tailback, has a nice first run, just short of the marker. Christian Fulton was in there. The senior will watch defensive back-wise, number 35 of the ESPN 300.
They're one of the top corners in the nation, number 3 corner.
Quick throw this time goes to Jonathan McDougal. Another one of the seniors for Wayne County, and the home team has a strong start. They've been waiting for this game all year, and Wayne County has all the momentum.
Yeah, coming off the turnover on that play they went. We were just talking about Christian Fulton, one of the top corners in the country. That play is a quick swing pass to the opposite side of the talented corner. I would expect Wayne tonight to not try to test him too much.
Reggie Stewart dekes a man and has a couple of yards. Jacob Macaluso with the tackle. Jacoby Jones was in there first, and nice dodge ability by Stewart, the senior.
One of the things to remember about Reggie Stewart, you remember, doesn't have prototypical size when you're thinking about a quarterback. He's a great athlete, a better athlete than a quarterback. Was a starting wide receiver for Wayne a year ago. They moved him to quarterback this year to utilize him, but they feel good in his ability to make plays with his arm.
The line drive to McDougal once again, and another Wayne County first down. Drive continues.
Not your prototypical passer, but you're going to see it once again. They feel comfortable with his ability to make plays with his arm, a little bit behind the receiver, but a nice job by McDougal being able to bring in the pass.
And a marker down before this snap.
Dead ball, approaching on the defense, the 5-yard penalty. We play first down.
Looks a little bit like the Plains here with all the navy blue and orange.
Absolutely. So far, off to a little bit of a sloppy start in terms of penalties. The game got off with a short kickoff, and then also a couple of big plays being had.
Freddie Jordan, the tailback, sneaking through inside the red zone. It took the sophomore safety Aaron Brule again, and a first down run for 13.
Yeah, they're going to use a three-headed rushing attack. Freddie Jordan's the guy who's going to lead that, a senior. They're doing a nice job of getting a push up front, especially inside.
5 touchdowns for him already, and on the read option, that's Derek Munson stopping Stewart. Short gain. They call Munson the leader of the defense.
And what they're doing is number 7, Briston Guidry for Archbishop Rummel. He is a player who's also an ESPN 300 defender. He's playing on the edge. He is quick to crash down, and oftentimes Reggie Stewart, the quarterback, number 7, is keeping it. He is trying to get off tackle with those runs, and they've been able to get it twice now for minimal gain, but watch that as the game potentially wears on.
That's 7 Guidry on a knee, just outside the 15 at the bottom of the defensive line. They run straight ahead, keeping Guidry out of the play. That was Sam Servat with the stop, and third down coming up.
And Rummel's defensive ends, they are crashing hard. As soon as anything is inside, they're coming down inside right away, leaving potential soft edges. We'll see how Wayne can go ahead and continue to attack that. Remember, Reggie Stewart, a very good athlete. They're very, very comfortable letting the ball stay in his hands as far as a runner.
Roll in the pocket, Stewart across his body, incomplete. And fourth down coming up. He was looking for Rameek Wallace. Jacoby Jones, the former nickelback, was there to swat it away. Well, Wallace, the guy we expect Christian Fulton will be following around all night long, the defensive back. And Brett Reynolds on to kick from 29. He got it. Wayne County off the game's first turnover. The fumble recovery has taken the lead. Came in at 2-1. They lead Archbishop Rummel 3-0 early on for Mississippi.
I thought you said you were going to test drive this Buick first.
I am test driving it for 24 hours.
Where's the salesperson?
At the dealership.
Nice Buick. I guess the test drive last night went well.
Actually, I'm still on it. You know we're test driving this Buick for 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
Test washing it.
Okay, well, let me know when you're done. I'm going to take it test shopping.
Introducing the Buick 24 Hours of Happiness Test Drive. It's on your terms and a better way to take a test drive.
New Dannon Oikos 000 is my go-to protein snack.
Protein from yogurt?
Yep, this Greek non-fat yogurt packs 15 grams of protein punch.
But what else?
It has 0 added sugar, 0 artificial sweeteners, and 0 fat.
Dannon Oikos 000.
Dannon.
Like I think they should make a move, make a rise, so it's understood. It's all right now. It's all good. If everybody in the spot, keep it loud, make it hot, don't stop, y'all. To the beat drop.
Residence Inn. It's not a room, it's a residence.
An important early season Pac-12 collision.
Stanford, USC. Saturday at 8 Eastern on ABC.
Geico ESPN High School Showcase is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And Buick. 5 expectation-shattering models. Another reason to experience the new Buick.
8:45 this morning, they were out for the Wayne County War Eagles, a pep rally here in Waynesboro, Mississippi, and they have really rolled out the red carpet for us. It's been a great, very hospitable night and week here in Mississippi, and I'll tell you what, these stands are full tonight.
Outstanding crowd, a lot of excitement. You know you're excited for a high school football game when you got an 8 a.m. pep rally.
And they got the first turnover, so 3-0 Wayne County off the field goal. And Archbishop Rummel out of Metairie, Louisiana will get it again with David Hensley back to return. So Fulton on the return, the up man, and Christian Fulton breaks free. He turns the corner all the way across the 40-yard line, and it's Kendrick Fuqua who may have saved the touchdown, 44 yards.
Second time now that a kickoff has hurt Wayne on field position. You're going to see the tough running from Fulton, running through the arm tackles, the vision, the speed. This is a tremendous athlete. You saw it there on the return. Is not necessarily good height. He's got to continue to fill out that frame, but he certainly has a physical edge to him. You saw that on the return with his ability just to run through some arm tackles.
You're looking for more muscle?
You've got to continue to, build out that frame, put on size. He's only about 180. Great frame to develop. Nice height for a corner. No different than a lot of high school corners. Just got to put on that size.
Counter play. Tucker goes down. That's Tyree Evans, who the coaches are very high on. They call him relentless, Craig.
Yeah, when you use that type of a word to describe one of your defenders, and I had spoke about it a little bit earlier, Coach Roth for Archbishop Rummel was very aware of who Benito Jones was, but he was quick to tell us that the entire front three for Wayne he felt was very good. It could potentially create problems, and there we saw number 99, Tyree Evans, senior, with a Troy offer, getting in and disrupting the play.
It's David Hensley, the senior, in motion, and he goes down behind the line. That's Evans again. What a series.
And it's a first step. It is the get off on that play that allows for that. Benito Jones is really the guy who kind of sets the bar for that, but that was great initial quickness from the senior getting off the football. You're going to see him bring his hands and do a nice job of shedding the offensive lineman, and he's in the backfield, able with enough hand strength to bring down the ball carrier.
We have a guy like Jones committed to Ole Miss. To have Evans next to him frees him up a little bit.
Absolutely. When you got that type of focus on number 95, the Ole Miss commit, it helps free up opportunities for those other defenders.
They've got to get to the 30. 4K tucks it, and he's out of bounds, well shy of the marker. Rummel wanted a flag as Tyler Hopkins dumped him out of bounds. 4th down after a gain of 10. Could be an option to go for it here. We'll see. But we saw Rummel sideline signaling for a possible flag.
I mean, was he hit him inbounds with the shoulder? Obviously, he can't ever give the sideline too much trouble for trying to get that, but that was a clean hit. Good no call.
4K on 4th down, and movement on the Rummel line.
Now the dead ball, illegal procedure on the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. We play 4th down.
Second time now that Rummel has had offsides in this part of the field. Now, obviously, you're still in kind of that no man's land. Their punter is actually their tackle, Larry Major, excuse me.
So former tight end, as you see Benito Jones being his disruptive self along with Evans on this drive. Major's a former tight end, now a tackle, also the punter, and back he goes. Got 3 to snap it. And they do get it off. Coverage team is back there, and a beautiful punt by Major.
And now I know why the tackle is the punter. There you got off a good one there.
Wayne County's offense back to the field, 33-yard punt, no return, 3-0 War Eagles.
Real fruit and silky smooth Dove dark chocolate. Dove fruit. Choose a pleasure less ordinary.
Some people have to travel for work.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Some people get to travel for work.
I'm video chatting with my parents. They just moved down to Boca.
Honey, can you see us?
It's the little things that make a big difference. Courtyard. Make room for a little fun.
There's no better way to bring in business than postcards and flyers. You can say a little or say a lot. You can hand them out, and you can hang them up, or just mail them out. You can size them up And of course, you can shrink them down. So if you want the right solutions for your business and the best value, the best choice is to do it yourself. Online at Vistaprint.com. There you'll find all the right sizes and an expanded range of paper stocks. All backed by easy uploads, simple design tools, complimentary design support, and an absolute guarantee. So make the right choice and visit Vistaprint.com today. And when you do, enter promo code MARKETING and get 500 postcards starting at just $24.99. Then you can stock them up and get the word out.
They're the top 10 recruiting classes right now. Very SEC heavy, Craig.
Absolutely. You see LSU there at the #2 spot, trailing Ohio State. Still a lot of talent in the state of Louisiana. Alabama's got a big matchup this weekend against Ole Miss. See Alabama, where they have signed 4 straight #1 classes. They right now are in a drive for 5. But you see there are still quite a couple of spaces back. Georgia, Ole Miss there at #7. The SEC has kind of set the bar for recruiting. Not unusual to see several teams there amongst the top 10. What to remember, Jason? Still a long way to go of National Signing Day. A lot can change.
All the way up to early February. Freddie Jordan is running like a human car wash in the first quarter. Nice gain again. He got up to Macaluso, the middle linebacker.
5'7", 150 pounds, but this young man does not run like that. He runs behind his pads, playing much bigger than his physical measurables would suggest.
There's Briston Guidry, the senior, one of the top 150 players in the country. And he bottled that thing up.
You can run really hard, but if you run into a brick wall, usually the same result. Briston Guidry, Arkansas verbal commit. This is a young man who, on tape, I really love his motor.
And if you have any questions about him or anybody else looking at the SEC all night long, at ESPN RN FBall, hashtag AskRN. Derek Tyson, our SEC recruiting expert, will be answering your questions all night long. He had a great story earlier this week about, you were talking about Alabama now. There are some SEC programs climbing and challenging the Crimson Tide in terms of class rank. You can ask Derek Tyson about that all night long. Hashtag AskRN at ESPN RN FBall. Even while we're in break, you can talk to Derek. 3-0.
We understand that travel means having a lot to balance. That's why at Fairfield, we give you everything you need so you can perform your best. Stay amazing. Fairfield Inn & Suites by Marriott.
I thought you said you were going to test drive this Buick first.
I am test driving it for 24 hours.
Nice Buick. I guess the test drive last night went well.
Actually, I'm still on it. You know we're test driving this Buick for 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
Test washing it.
Oh, okay. Well, let me know when you're done. I'm going to take a test shopping.
Kick off the football season with Buick, plus current lessees. Switch to Buick with this low-mileage lease on this Buick Encore for around $189 a month with just $359 due at signing.
So, why the Marines? Because this is the land that I love, the country I'm honored to serve.
So...
Yes?
French fries and I are pregnant. And we're having chicken fries.
Everybody just calm down!
Again?
There's just no stopping true love. Chicken fries are back at Burger King.
Saturday, 9 a.m. on ESPN and watch ESPN. Heads on Sticks. From Tuscaloosa, College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, Herbie, Dez, Reese, Coach Corso, and lots of props. 3 hours of the best college football analysis you're going to find, and that is going to be a raucous crowd in Tuscaloosa. Ole Miss has never beaten Bama twice in a row. Let's see if the gentleman from Tuscaloosa allows that to happen. He's been murder on the recruiting trail.
Yeah, I mean, Alabama, as I mentioned, 4 straight #1 classes. Many argue that this may be his best defense, particularly his best front 7 group of talent since he has been in Tuscaloosa. All that talent. They've really done a great job, particularly of not just getting great players, but more often than not getting the most out of those players when they get them on campus and getting them to play like 4 and 5 stars.
Zabrian Jackson is in at quarterback, and he takes it himself to the 18. Very close. Jackson in for Reggie Stewart. One of those special formations, a defensive back. Jackson got 3, needed 4, 4th and 1.
We'll see. The kickoffs have not been very smooth for Wayne. Special teams, a huge part of the game. Here in the punting situation, Will Mangan, the son of head coach, is their punter.
A head coach who said, no, we play it pretty straight. As he puts in a defensive back, a quarterback on 3rd down and 4, so you never know. Andre Deneau back at the 45. Fair caught it. And we have a marker down as well after a 36-yard boot.
Have a dead ball, personal foul, phase mask on the white team. With success on the end of the run.
So that's 15 yards after the fair catch, and so Rummel pushed all the way back. We talked about Nick Saban and that Alabama recruiting class. What are the highlights right now for Bama?
Well, once again, they're really targeting that offensive line. Jonah Williams, actually from the South, but now playing out of Folsom High School out in California. Chris Owens, you see the offensive lineman, Deontay Brown, who is a monster, an in-state pickup, moves extremely well for how big he is. And Kendall Jones out of the state of Texas, he's another guy with outstanding size. What is Alabama focusing on? Once again, trying to bring in some more talent in those trenches, knowing you win games up front.
Movement at the line early. Benito Jones got a big jump. Was it too big?
Have a dead ball, outside, on the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Replay, 1st down.
Yeah, we saw him earlier. He doesn't need a jump start here.
No, you know, one of his things on film is snap anticipation. You've got to be able to, as they like to say, hold your water. No underball snap, especially when you're lined up right over it. Motor's running. He's got a quick first step, but you got to be able to stay onside. You got to watch the football. You mentioned he's got the ability. He's got the first step quickness. Just watch the football.
The center, Joseph Holstein, please give him a fair shake too. Tucker with a nice run, maybe his best of the night so far. 1st down is Denzel Bonner, the senior, one of the leaders on defense, and also a member of the show choir, made the stop.
It was a good job, good running by Tucker, who missed his junior season with an ACL injury. But initially, as you mentioned, Wayne got up, they got good penetration, the linebacker got downhill, but he kept his legs churning, was able to find a little seam for some positive yardage.
We'll see throughout the game how Jones, who's going to play in the heat at Ole Miss, deals with a running team like Archbishop Rummel, maybe trying to wear him down all night long. Forcade off play action, dodges Evans, got by another, and throws it away. Marker down. It's tough pairing, Jones and Evans.
Well, we're talking about Jones, but that play, the disruption was started by Tyree Evans, number 99, off the edge.
Very preliminary signal is grounding. You good at charades, Hobbs? 2 words.
Thing to remember is the grounding rules are much more stringent in high school than they are in college, where you can get outside the tackle box and get the ball to the line of scrimmage. It doesn't matter if a receiver is in the area. Here in high school, there needs to be a receiver in the area. They are making sure they're going to get this call right.
Have intentional grounding on the offense. That penalty decline. Be 3rd down.
So they declined the penalty. What do you think of this rule, by the way?
You know, you would actually think it would be more stringent in college than it would be in high school to try to protect the players a little bit more. But it's rough. Like I said, you have to have a receiver in the area at the high school level, and that wasn't there.
seem like you'd want the kids to be even safer as they're younger.
Exactly. You would think it would be the other way around, but that is the rule. So even if at home you're watching and saying, oh, he got outside the tackle box, does not matter.
It's not material in a high school football game. So 3rd down 10 for Forcade. The nephew of the former NFL quarterback, John Forcade. Screen, and oh my goodness, was DeAndre Gandy seemingly in the huddle, 4th down.
Well, the coaches said that he is good getting downhill. He read that screen perfectly. 3rd down and long, you would expect a draw or a screen. He read that. You're going to see the running back slip out behind the defensive line. And right there, number 26, Gandy, was on the spot, hitting him as soon as the football got there.
So here's the tackle turned punter, Larry Major. And Freddie Jordan, the running back, if you get a chance. Got it away. 42-yard punt for Major. And here comes the Wayne County offense. Some impact freshmen for you, including one from Central New York, Craig Hobart.
Yeah, absolutely, Eric Dungy. He was pushed into action with an injury to their starter in week 1. Got off to a rough start, Jason, but he hung in the game. Some big throws in the 2nd quarter. Tanner Mangum, some big plays at the end of the game. He's a 22-year-old true freshman, but nonetheless technically a true freshman. And if you watch that Oregon game, they gave L.J. Scott some big carries there in the 2nd half, and he responded, especially with a 38-yard TD run. When he committed to Michigan State, he just kind of said, this feels right. His running style, their offense, and so far the returns have shown that it's a good fit for both of them.
Kind of gives off a T.J. Duckett kind of vibe,
absolutely,
the way they grind with him.
With good speed, you saw him on that touchdown run, too. To be physical, but got a good 2nd gear.
Jordan into the line, nothing there. And 2nd down coming up. Kristen Guidry was in on that play, number 145 of the ESPN 300. Arkansas commit back in April.
Yeah, you know, this is a young man where first time I watched on film, I was like, this guy is kind of a lunch pail type player. Good physical ability, but he really plays hard.
Stewart tucks it. And he's out of bounds right near the marker at the 29. Reggie Stewart showing his ability to get out of the pocket.
What we've seen here early on is them not be able to utilize and go to their top receiver, Ramik Wallace, number 19.
Yeah, Wallace is down at the bottom of your screen as the officials will bring out the chains here. I thought maybe Christian Fulton would follow him around today.
This is a player already on the season with 22 catches for over 400 yards, 6 touchdowns. He's been a playmaker for them.
A little bit short of the 1st down, so the initial signal was 1st down. As Wallace, the senior, who's been a big breakout guy, they didn't expect necessarily he'd be the heavy burden load guy on the outside, but he has been.
Yeah, they say they're really happy with the way he's matured as a player, and thus far this year, he has been a big-time target for them. But early on in this game, they have done a nice job of being able to kind of stop it. We see him right down there. But he's matched up against the other corner, Andre Deneau.
And Stewart has the 1st down. He went low. And let's see, did he lose the ball? Looked like Archbishop Rummel was signaling the other way, but he's across the 29. And we'll check the spot. 1st down.
Yeah, big run inside, being able to just enough push, pick up that 1st down.
Talked about Guidry, who's played on the outside, is on the inside here as he tracks down Stewart at the 34. The Arkansas commit, Kristen Guidry. Hawks need a little help after that loss to the old Rockets last week.
Yeah, but you know what? This is a program that a lot of people were talking about as a potential sleeper. Obviously, the loss to Toledo will quell that. But you see what they're doing on the recruiting trail. McTelvin, again, one of the other 5-star defensive linemen in this class, and then Guidry.
Freddie Jordan has shown some speed on the inside, some toughness. 3rd down and 2 coming up. You're talking about Hakeem. We'll talk about him later on. He's headed to the Under Armour All-America game.
Yeah, we're one of the top prospects in the country. And he is a guy that, after the loss to Toledo, got on the phone with all the Arkansas commits and said, hey, stick with us. The good times ahead. And he's really kind of taking a leadership role with that class.
Sam Servat trying to drive Jordan back. And it depends on the spot. We talked about it last week. You lose a game like that, some commits say they can use us.
Exactly. You could spin that a lot of ways, and like we talked about a week ago.
4th down now.
Yep. Bringing out the punter Manga, but you say, hey, we don't oftentimes give these kids enough credit a lot of times, and they're able to look past one game. But as I mentioned, Hakeem was a guy who wanted to kind of get out in front of that. He was a recent Arkansas commit.
Side of the foot. Good field position coming for Archbishop Rummel. Saturday on ESPN, and watch ESPN early season SEC Twin Bills 6 Eastern college football primetime presented by Hilton, South Carolina, on the road in Athens to battle Georgia, then Ole Miss, Alabama, the nightcap at 9:15. 2 and 15. The question of who's in will at least get defined a little bit more this week. Ole Miss, we talked about it. Benito Jones on his way to the Rebels, and Hugh Freeze, what he's done since he's got on board has been impressive.
Well, that 2013 class was really the pace setter. That was the one that had the #1 player in the country, Robert Condici, as well as Laquan Treadwell, the #1 wide receiver in the country, Laramie Tunzel.
Counterplay again, and stopped again. That linebacker, DeAndre Gandy, has been everywhere in quarter #1. The run game has been quiet.
And that's the one that play really started with big number 95. You've seen her jump off sides a few times. It was the initial penetration, as you mentioned. The linebackers got downhill and cleaned it up.
Defenses have owned the day so far in War Eagle country in eastern Mississippi. Turnover led to a field goal. Christian Fulton and Archbishop Rummel down a tray.
I thought you said you were going to test drive this Buick first.
I am test driving it for 24 hours.
Nice Buick. I guess the test drive last night went well.
Actually, I'm still on it.
You know we're test driving this Buick for 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
Test washing it.
Oh, okay. Well, let me know when you're done. I'm going to take it test shopping.
Kick off the football season with Buick. Plus, pay no interest for 5 years. Plus, get $1,500 purchase bonus cash on select 2015 Enclave models in stock the longest.
It's not long. That tiny moment of anticipation before the next song. But it's all the time we need. We've already studied every note, every beat, to bring you this song. Your song. Right here.
Need to book a flight? Check out cheapoair.com. Cheapo Air offers you the fastest way to compare and book over 450 flights worldwide. With Cheapo Air, you can travel out and back on 2 different airlines to get a better deal on flights to more than 2,000 destinations across the globe. Because with Cheapo Air's best price guarantee, you know you're getting the very best deal every time. Thinking flights? Think Cheapo Air.
I think this is the end. Wait. To the north.
And then a hero, and then a hero comes along, and then a hero comes along.
Hey! Time to be heroes, guys.
Game of War. Download and play for free now from the App Store.
Good times when the baseline pumps penetrate your face, but no waste time. Yes, I move your body from your legs to your waistline. Pay no mind to no space and time. Gonna play all day into the street like
In the wild, it's give and take.
feeling good like I think they should. Make a move, make a rise till it's understood. It's all right now. It's all good. Don't stop, y'all, till the beat drop. It's all right.
Residence Inn. It's not a room. It's a residence.
They've traveled well from Metairie, Louisiana. Archbishop Rummel's crowd in it in a 3-0 game for Wayne County off a turnover to open the ball game. Led to a Wayne County field goal of 29 yards. With Craig Hauber, Jason Benetti, our entire crew from Eastern Mississippi, with our eyes on some future FBS defensive players, including number 95 in navy blue on the defensive line for Wayne County, Benito Jones, who's committed to Ole Miss. 2nd and 11 for Archbishop Rummel. Movement at the line. You're a little jumpy when you've got such talent on the defensive line across from you. It's Mr. Jones, number 11.
Have a dead ball. Illegal procedures on the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Replay, 2nd down.
Number 11 in the ESPN 300, causing some trouble for Larry Robinson, the left tackle for Jay Roth's Rummel team. The 20-year head coach.
And it's just not, but we've also seen early on Tyree Evans, number 99 as well. And when you're lining up against defensive linemen that can get off the football that quickly, it gets you thinking as an offensive lineman, I got to get moving that much quicker myself to be able to get into position. And sometimes you get moving a little bit earlier.
A lot of motion pre-snap. They all set. Forcade hit and drop. Benito Jones. No, he kept his feet. And now Jones has to track him down. Forcade kept the play alive.
Great effort, but it's a pressure off the edges on both sides from Evans, and then obviously the 5-star Jones. You're going to see him push upfield as the quarterback tries to come in the pocket, come up in the pocket. He loses his hand, can't make the tackle in Forcade. You see him get down real low. Knees didn't go down, elbows didn't go down. He was able to keep moving and fight to at least put him in a 3rd and more manageable situation.
How'd you like to see Jones finish that play?
You got to wrap up and just bring him down, but that was really also good fight there from the quarterback Forcade to stay alive.
Forcade is dropped that time. Tyler Hopkins, the linebacker, has been hampered by a knee injury. Back healthy now.
Didn't just bring pressure up front, also brought the linebackers on this play. You're going to see it right there off the edge. Didn't even block him, and this time they're able. Doesn't even need to wrap him up, but able to just get a hand on him. He was on top of Forcade early before he even had a chance to get set. Great pressure there from the front 7 on that series by Wayne.
What does a lineman like Jones do for your linebackers?
Well, even the coaches told us that all the linebackers feed off of that defensive line because of their motor and their initial get-off.
Favorable bounce for Major. All the way down to the 12-yard line. 46-yard punt, no return. 3-0 Wayne County in the 2nd quarter.
I could get used to this.
Now you can with the luxuriously transformed 2016 Lexus ES and ES Hybrid.
Rattle That Lock from David Gilmour, the voice and guitar of Pink Floyd. Rattle That Lock, out now.
New Dannon Oikos Triple Zero is my go-to protein snack.
Protein from yogurt.
Yep, this Greek non-fat yogurt packs 15 grams of protein punch.
But what else?
It has 0 added sugar, 0 artificial sweeteners, and 0 fat.
Dannon Oikos Triple Zero.
Dannon.
Some people have to travel for work.
Hi there. Looks like you've had a long day.
Some people get to travel for work.
Really looking forward to this spinach salad. It's got quinoa in it.
It's the little things that make a big difference. Courtyard, make room for a little fun.
this game for months now here in Mississippi, and the War Eagles have a 3-0 lead behind quarterback Reggie Stewart, and the offense putting in a field goal after a turnover on Archbishop Rummel's first series. This is a football town. You sort of feel it when you drive through.
Yeah, you think about Friday Night Lights and football in the South, and you can see by the crowd and the turnout and the reception we have got, they are certainly not only excited about tonight's game on ESPN2, but just the entire football season.
They had cards that spelled out Craig Harbert, the cheerleaders did, but we said, hey, can we just do ESPN2 instead?
For brevity?
Yeah. First down on the ground for Freddie Jordan, and a short game. Second down on the way. Talked about Benito Jones earlier and this Ole Miss recruiting class that's on the way in for a team that's on the rise. We'll talk all night long about Ole Miss and what they've done leading up to that game against Alabama. And Stewart gets stood up. Robert Hutchins, the senior, is also on the wrestling team, sacks him.
And the pressure started with number 9, Derek Munson, the junior, who the coaches said he was the leader of their D. That initial pressure there allowed for Hutchins to be able to clean up with the sack.
Guidry's after Stewart. You know what, Guidry looked like he down-throttled a little bit, and Stewart got away from him.
One of the things they've been able to get him on tonight is breaking containment. He's going to come in a little bit too flat on his angle. You're going to see the quarterback, Stewart, be able to get outside of him. And then you see Guidry in pursuit, staying after the play. But at that point, you've got to be able to keep containment and keep that quarterback on your inside shoulder. He let him get to the corner.
They'll measure here. Knowing defensive linemen like you do, how do you get them to stay with the play full force when they're behind the play?
Well, that is just, you know, one of the things that I've found in coaching and watching is you really can't teach effort and toughness. Those are things that have kind of got to be innate. Now, you can kind of try to lead people down that path. And one of the things with Briston Guidry as they measure,
sport it down, just shoelace.
Yeah. Is that, you know, you gotta, his film shows it. He shows the effort. Now, during the summer, though, he was in summer school, working to get ready for the fall. His coach said maybe the workouts weren't there as he tried to make up in some other areas, so maybe still trying to play himself a little bit in shape here early in the season. So the effort was there, the hustle was there, maybe not moving as quickly as he can. But I've seen it on tape. He's a young man who plays hard.
You've always liked his motor.
Yes.
Fourth and very short. Stewart on the sneak. They roll the dice. And the far side official looks like his spot's going to be a first down. We'll see. It is first down.
A nice push right up the middle here. Reestablish the line of scrimmage just enough to be able to pick up the first down. Nice shot from the sideline. You see that they just pushed Rummel off the ball. And you know what? If you want to consider yourself a championship team, sometimes in that short, you got to go for it on fourth down.
It's Chris Cooley off the shovel pass. His first touch of the night. Derek Munson upended him. Second down coming up.
One of that three-headed rushing attack for Wayne. His nickname, the bowling ball.
Well, he just turned into a 7-10 split for a second there. He got dumped by Munson.
Very nice protection.
A lot of time for Stewart. Breaks down. Coverage sack right there for Shaheed Reese, the junior who started last year as a sophomore.
That's a sack for Rummel, but really that's one on the young quarterback. Remember, he was a starting wide receiver a year ago, moved to quarterback this year. He had plenty of time. You got to be aware how long you've been back there and working. Either try to tuck it and run or get rid of it.
You know, they say count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. He's got home field advantage.
Yeah, see, just count 1 home, 2 home.
3rd and 13. Eyes downfield. Stewart has his man. First down and then some. Inside Archbishop Rummel territory. There's Ramik Wallace. His 23rd catch of the year. Goes for 34.
And you see the fighting Stewart wanting to try to keep the play alive. He does it again here on this play. Keeps his eyes downfield. And he finds his big play guy. We've been talking about Ramik Wallace a little bit earlier. Not being able to get the football to him there. They're able to move the chains. Nice job there by Stewart of knowing, keeping the play alive, but also keeping his eyes downfield.
Jordan hit by Servat, the senior defensive lineman, who they say has doubled his numbers this year. They challenged him, and that's what high school football is all about. Somebody going from year to year and making a big leap.
Absolutely, getting better each year, but you can see Wayne is trying to make this defensive line move around, do a lot of running.
Here's Shadarius Chambers, the third head of that three-headed monster, and he met Reese and Hudgens. Third down coming up. Well, this Rummel defense so far this year has allowed just 10 points in 2 games and about a half here tonight.
Rummel showing pressure.
Here comes Hudgens, incomplete on 3rd and 8.
Now, the initial pressure was not that great, but by showing it, they got Reggie Stewart thinking about it, and he moved out of the pocket way earlier than he needed to. Started retreating back, and had he hung in there a little bit longer, may have been able to find his path. But just even the threat there got him thinking, and uneasy led to an incompletion.
Andre Denove awaiting the kick.
I've seen quite a roller coaster ride of special team kicks tonight. Some good, not some good.
You must be this tall to ride this game. 6:10 to go, first half, 3-0 Wayne County.
The stage is set for another epic showdown. Both teams are hungry. It's going to come down to who wants it more. Get ready as football and Monday Burger Night come together as one. It doesn't get any better than this, folks. Catch Monday Night Countdown all season long, served by Applebee's.
Is that Grandpa?
Yeah, that's my dad. One day you're gonna have those tags. Welcome aboard, Captain.
Everyone has a reason to live a healthier, longer life. What's yours?
The players, cheerleaders, early seat claimers, the road trippers, masked riders, passionate tailgaters, the whiteouts, blackouts, fans going all out, the hootin' and hollerin', foot-stompin' halftime bands rockin'. Every team has a tradition that inspires superior performance, and for the last 60 years, we're proud to be the one they all have in common.
It's 3-year quarterback starter at Archbishop Rummel, Chase Fourcade, whose Uncle John you may have heard about. Certainly if you're from this area, John Fourcade's name rings a bell. The former New Orleans Saints started as a replacement player, kept his job for a couple years. Former Ole Miss quarterback, broke Archie's records, then went to the Saints, took over the starting job for Bobby Hebert back in '89 when he got benched, and Fourcade had himself a 4-year NFL career. Comes to the games to watch Chase, whose dad, Keith, John's brother, was also a player at Ole Miss himself.
A defensive player, and so comes from a football family, as you mentioned, 3-year starter, a nickel state verbal commit.
Fourcade to throw, has a completion to Barry Kimbrough, his senior fullback, and he rumbles into War Eagle territory. Biggest play for Rummel offensively goes for 27.
So you try to counter that push from that defensive line. What do? You slip the running back out into the flat, and you see the big man. That's a lot of power in a compact package. Running hard after the play, gains some extra yards after contact.
Track athlete himself, Barry Kimbrough, talked about that defensive line. Benito Jones, number 95 in navy blue, is at the top of that defensive line. The Ole Miss verbal commit. High snap to Tucker, and he's certainly not going to throw it. Wildcat formation, and Evans labels him. Big loss.
Slipped the running back in there in a Wildcat formation, and the play was never able to get started. And now one of the things to remember too is Chase Forcade is 6 foot, Israel Tucker is 5'9", so you got about a 3-inch difference there from the center snapping. That one was a little bit high over Israel Tucker's head. Set up now a 2nd and long.
Not really a down and long team, Archbishop Rummel. They like to run. Forcade gets around Evans, incomplete. Tyree Evans blew it up.
A senior, obviously one of the things is Benito Jones. He draws a lot of attention, but on the other side, number 99, Tyree Evans, a senior coach, says is a Troy offer. He has been creating a lot of problems. He did a nice job there of staying home. Action went away. He didn't just run and chase. You saw him square up there, forced the bad pass, and an incomplete. And so we really just good discipline too there by the senior DN.
Evans type of guy that might see some bigger offers.
You could look at that frame, a quick first step, a nice frame to go ahead and develop, absolutely.
7 to snap it for Forcade. Down the seam, too much. He wanted Hensley, who had his man, instead 4th down.
2 defenders there, but he had a step on him. Just could not deliver the pass. It was better protection that time up front on the offensive line. But as you mentioned, really not the situation for Rummel to be in. They want to try to stay ahead of the chains with their 2-back rushing attack. Okay, let's see what type of kick we are going to get here.
Up and down night for special teams so far as Jordan awaits it. It's a good one for Major. And Jordan flops on it. 40-yard punt. No return. 3-0 Wayne County with the lead at home.
13-yard line by number 5, Freddie Jordan.
So why the Marines? Because this is the land that I love, the country I'm honored to serve.
Your company is growing fast. Namely is the only HR platform that grows with you. It's a full-service payroll system, tax withholdings, W-2s, and more. Plus, Namely provides medical, dental, and ancillary benefits from all the top carriers. And we make talent management easy, from onboarding to performance reviews. So everyone gets better as your company gets bigger. See how Namely can help your growing organization. Schedule your free demo today at namely.com.
At Fairfield, we understand that travel sometimes means dealing with obstacles. Our job is to help you keep moving forward. That's why at Fairfield, we give you everything you need, so you can perform your best. Stay amazing. Fairfield Inn & Suites by Marriott.
We asked Wayne County head coach Todd Mangum where to get a good meal in Waynesboro. He said, you gotta get a Cooley burger. That's a double hamburger, triple hamburger, bacon hamburger, and that's the guy who makes them. These burgers are, let's say, epic.
Yes, we're giving you, halftime's coming up, we're giving you some snacking ideas. Obviously, Cooley's only 7-2. You always know a place is good when they close in the middle of the day. They force you to get there early and get the food. Really a lot of buzz. I mean, when we asked Coach, where should we go, it was pretty emphatic. He said Cooley's is the place to go.
Been there 100 years. You can get a fried egg on your burger, too. So if Craig leaves in the third quarter, first down run for Freddie Jordan. And the defensive lines have really owned this game along with the linebackers. Derek Munson there for Rummel.
I'm impressed you think I would hang around to the third quarter before heading out to get a burger.
Usually you hear burger, and it's just jetting right then.
Got quickness like Benito Jones.
Somebody's got to hold up the agility of this booth. 2nd and 9 for Wayne County. Low ball, connection, Ramik Wallace. First down across the 35, his second big grab.
Nice job here by Wallace of hanging in there. Passes a little bit low, stays with it, and the run after the catch. And he's the guy they want to try to get the football to. As we mentioned earlier, he's been their breakout guy.
Stewart finds a seam, and Reggie Stewart goes headlong across the 45. Munson again had to take him down. Offense is rolling now for Wayne County.
Yeah, got the athletic Stewart out on the edge. The linebacker bit on the running back. Created a nice lane for Stewart.
Gain of 9, 2nd and short. Now they're going to go ahead and save first down, move the sticks. Not a whole lot there as Briston Guidry was in on the stop of Jordan. Don't forget, all night long you can ask questions of Derek Tyson, SEC recruiting analyst at ESPN RNFball and hashtag AskRN. Derek has been kind enough to answer my pregame question. Thanks, Derek. Hashtag AskRN all night long. A lot of SEC recruiting questions with Alabama on top right now, but some teams on the way.
Also some big games this weekend, potential visit opportunities. You got LSU hosting Auburn. You got Alabama hosting Ole Miss. So a lot of prospects to be on the road this weekend. Not a lot of official visits expected for the Auburn-LSU game, but LSU is expecting a large group of unofficial visitors.
Well, LSU needs some revenge there, too. That was an ugly game last year in Alabama for the Bayou Bengals. 3rd down, 8 for Stewart. And it's intercepted. Off the deflection, picked off. Shaheed Reese, the junior.
Stewart got it there, but one thing you always want to do, you want to catch the football with your hands. You're going to see it get into his shoulder pads, and it's right off his hands. And a nice job by Shaheed Reese, Jr. with a Tulane offer, staying with the football. And Irish just couldn't bring it in.
Well, it's a Rummel team that's won a couple of state titles recently. The class of the Catholic League in New Orleans since 1999. They've won it 11 times since 99. Tucker, the Wildcat, gets a couple of yards. Jamarcus Fisher, the junior safety, knocked him down under 3 to go first half.
That was a big turnover, though, for Rummel. You could kind of felt a little bit of the momentum starting to shift Wayne's way. An interception off the deflection.
There you see Quindarius Bivens along with Evans and Jones. Benito Jones, the Ole Miss commit, on that defensive line, at the top of the defensive line on your screen. One to snap it. Timeout before the delay of game for Jay Roth on that Archbishop Rummel sideline. Saturday, 8 Eastern on ABC and watch ESPN. Couple of Pac-12 rivals, open conference play. Kevin Hogan and Stanford out of Gonzaga in the D.C. area against Bakersfield's own Cody Kessler. 8 Eastern, ABC and watch ESPN. And a couple of impact freshmen to watch. Ronald Jones may get some very early carries for USC.
Well, when he signed with USC, we had said, you were there at the Under Armour All-American game with myself and Tom Luganville, that the Trojans didn't have a potential game breaker like him. When he sticks his foot in the ground and gets upfield, he's got a second gear. And then Bryce Love didn't get very many touches last week, but when he did, he made the most of them, including catching a screen pass for a 90-yard touchdown where you saw his ability to read his blocks, make one defender miss, and then showed the speed to take it to the house. Two players who could bring some playmaking elements to each of their respective offenses.
And one of the best three-way players you'll see in a long time, Adoree Jackson for USC. Israel Tucker swallowed up. Tyree Evans once again exploded through third down.
He is getting off the football and making plays in the backfield to become very disruptive and difficult for this Rummel offense to handle. And, you know, I think part of that, too, is oftentimes we're seeing them devote at least two blockers to Benito Jones. And when you have one player drawing attention, that means the other guys have got to take advantage of those one-on-one matchups. And Evans is getting off the football.
Screen pass, Todd Weller. And he's very close to the marker, but short.
They run the screen. You're getting pressure upfield. Try to entice him and throw behind him. Jones is going to see it just a little slow to kind of get that big man body moving in the other direction. But he did, because of the hustle and being able to kind of see that quickly enough to get back in on the play. Sets up a fourth down situation here.
So what's your evaluation of that play on Jones?
Great. He's working hard. It's late sometimes to get a big man. It's hard to quickly change direction. He saw it. He stayed after it. And like I said, at least he was able to get enough of it to set up a fourth down here for Rummel.
Well, he's been on the defensive line all night long with Tyree Evans, the senior. And you mentioned Jones has freed him up this evening.
Yeah, you know, they were very aware of who number 95 was coming into the game. And one guy is drawing a lot of attention. The other 10 guys have got to take advantage of that. Number 99, the senior, Tyree Evans, has been one of those players to take advantage of the situation to get some one-on-one matchups. The coaches use the word relentless to describe him. Thus far, they've been on point.
Had a high ankle sprain a couple of weeks ago. They had a bye week. Wayne County did last week, so he's gotten healthier.
I'm going to go ahead and give him 100% clean bill of health from what I've seen here.
You're feeling good about it?
He looks like he is ready to go and healthy. Because if he's not, if he's only at 80% right now, I'd hate to see what he looks like at 100%.
So that's what's in that suit bag. It's a white lab coat, is that right?
He's been very impressive. Coach has said a Troy offer so far. If you look at that frame, and I'm sure if he continues to play like this his senior year, could certainly see some more interest. Listed at 6'2", 194 pounds. At the next level, likely transition to more of a hybrid D-end outside linebacker.
Chancy call right here, 4th and 1 with 1:09 to go in the first half. Fourcade wants it all. Hensley, incomplete. And a marker down. Lampley was right there with Hensley.
Got defensive pass interference. That's a 15-yard. First down.
Well, Rummel known for running it. You figure 4th and short, they're going to try to pound it up inside. They go with the play action. Lampley is there, and you're going to see the right hand on the shoulder of the wide receiver, and that's what draws the flag. You see a little bit early, he's kind of turning. And, you know, an initial look, thought maybe a little touchy-feely, but as you watch that there, Lampley was getting a little bit too more physical with the right hand.
Then he came across with the left, too.
But it all started there with that right hand, tough to initially see during the play, but a good call there by the referee.
So first down, Rummel. Forcade stepped up in the pocket and has Brett Eshett, a speed burner, inside the 15. And a first down for Rummel. 54 seconds to go in the half. One timeout for Rummel. Boy, a lot of clock moving. Eshett, touchdown.
Okay, pass complete to number 4, Brett Eshett, for the Raiders touchdown.
It all started with the call to go up top on 4th down. Then on that touchdown play, it all started with the protection up front. Gave Chase Forcade plenty of time to find his receiver.
Alexander Bollinger has the extra point. 7-3 Rummel.
Your score, Rummel 7, Wayne County 3.
He's going to find his slot here. Eshett, and to watch the protection up front. Forcade knows where he wants to go with the football. A little bit of a pump fake to help draw up number 9, Xavier Lampley. Leaves the space open behind for Eshett. And a nice strike here by Forcade. I think he comes from a football family with an uncle who played a little NFL ball. Showed it there with that delivery.
That was a little more NFL than it was USFL. They could really chuck it down the sideline when they were playing there, but 5 plays, 51 yards, and 231, and a pretty solid drive for Rummel's final foray, likely in the first half. They say Eshett's the fastest player on the team. We didn't see it in play there. He just created the separation, but he's absolutely a speedster on the outside.
Yeah, they've got some weapons. This is an offense, as we mentioned, want to establish the run, and that's what really kind of helped get that touchdown play in action, was being able to sell that physical run game on a 4th and short, where they decided to go to the air and kept the football in the air to lead to 7 the rest of the drive.
Eshett, whose father Ray is a former Archbishop Rummel Raider himself. Back in 1978 he graduated. And Wayne will get one last look at it here in the first half. With good field position.
This is a Wayne offense. Got 2 timeouts. They can move quickly. Time is against them, but this is certainly an offense that can make some quick strikes.
Coming up, halftime in 32 seconds at Nanverk. Danny Cannell, Joey Galloway have a Week 3 overview. Ole Miss and Bama picks on the way. And first half highlights and stats, too. We'll see who Danny and Joey like in that big game in the SEC. And this could be a re-kick for Archbishop Rummel. Wayne County wants to try to return this.
Exactly. You got limited time. Expect a shorter kick. Maybe you get a big play in a return game. And obviously, it's a hot night. You've already gotten those guys running downfield once. You know what? Make them have to run downfield again. And maybe with just off of the return, you get a big play. Maybe you get yourself in field goal position really quickly, or a better chance to make some quick strikes in the air with your initial field position. I like the idea to make them kick again.
Through the end zone this time, you lose some yardage.
Well, the kicker delivered on that one. It's good in theory. Good in theory, trying to make those guys have to run downfield again. But this time, the kicker didn't come through the first time. The second time, he had to do it again. Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And that time,
well, Bollinger, he'd be in Cooperstown. I mean, 500 gets you pretty far in certain halls of fame.
Taking it to the half.
And it looks like the signal is take a knee from the sideline of Todd Mangum in Wayne County.
Field position obviously playing a role in that.
Well, we told you off the top that 3 of the top 155 defensive players in the country heading to FBS schools are in this game, so you shouldn't be terribly shocked that there are only 10 points on the board. The defenses have owned the first 24 minutes tonight in Eastern Mississippi.
4 points might be hard to come by, but as you mentioned, with those defensive players, and they have delivered. Led by Benito Jones, who has been tough to handle at times, and even when he's not making plays, he's freeing things up for some of his teammates, including the senior, number 99, Tyree Evans, who has made quite a few plays tonight as well for Wayne.
But 4K to the offense for Rummel. Have 7 on the last second drive of the first half. 7-3 Archbishop Rummel leading Wayne County in the half. And coming up after the break, we'll join the studio with a halftime report. Adnan Burke, Danny Cannell, Joey Galloway.
Lease the 2015 RC350 for $429 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
The 5 Truth or Dare Challenge is back. Are you game?
So Courtyard is the official hotel of Super Bowl 50. You're the marketing geniuses. What do you have planned? Wow. Impressive.
It's even a little dangerous.
Yes.
Skycam.
Every guest gets a highlight reel.
Highlight of what? Not gonna sugarcoat it. This one's not my favorite.
To see a great idea, go to Courtyard.com for your chance to wake up in the stadium on Super Bowl Sunday. Courtyard, official hotel of the NFL.
The ice is nice, but I miss the bubbles. Not the same without bubbles.
And he's in. Touchdown, South Carolina. It's Nick Chubb to the end zone. And here come the Georgia Bulldogs. Kelly scores. What a start for the Rebels.
Henry breaking free. Touchdown, Alabama.
Saturday at 6, South Carolina, Georgia. Then at 9:15, Ole Miss, Alabama on ESPN.
At DraftKings, we play for glory. And for this, the Giant Check. The Giant Check is no myth. It's our trophy and many hoisted playing our one-week games, like Dave Gomes and Adam Goulet. Are your dreams big enough to cash a Giant Check? Play DraftKings.com Millionaire Maker this Sunday. $10 million in total prizes. Play free one-week fantasy football for your shot at the $2 million top prize. Get to DraftKings.com now and play free with promo code MISMATCH. Welcome to the big time.
Hope you're enjoying Archbishop Rummel and Wayne County. Alongside Danny Cannell and Joey Galloway, I'm Adnan Burke, and it's great to have you with us. College football week 3. Joey, what are you most looking forward to?
I want to see the Stanford-USC game. We talked a lot about the Pac-12, who comes out of North and South. Here's a good test for both teams. Stanford didn't look great against Northwestern, lost the game, looked slow. We know USC is fast. Going to be an interesting matchup.
I'm glad we put the cupcakes behind us. We start seeing some real matchups, some of the big boys going head-to-head. The SEC West, we've got Ole Miss, Alabama, but we also have Auburn, LSU. Jeremy Johnson, can he stop throwing interceptions? Is LSU for real? We saw them knock off Mississippi State last week.
We'll talk more about Auburn and LSU momentarily as we look at the ranked matchups going head-to-head, beginning with Georgia Tech at Notre Dame. Fighting Irish, Joey, trying to move on without Malik Zaire.
Yeah, Kaiser steps in just fine. Made a play last week, throwing the ball to 4 out wide. Get precise, get full of the ball. It's the defense for Notre Dame that makes me a little nervous. Georgia Tech's going to run the option right, left, up the middle, everywhere. Can you slow them down?
BYU facing 10th ranked UCLA, Danny.
I love true freshman Josh Rosen. Really a flick of the wrist, really nice, smooth, easy throwing motion. This is a great quarterback matchup, too. He's going to be facing one of the stories of the year, Tanner Mangum. The BYU quarterback comes in for Taysom Hill. Back-to-back Hail Marys.
Did you practice defending the Hail Mary? That's what we need to know.
Big SEC West matchup in Baton Rouge. We need more from Jeremy Johnson.
Yeah, the Auburn ship is taking on water, but I'm not jumping off just yet. I think Jeremy Johnson will improve. He'll be better. They'll put points on the board against a tough LSU defense.
And lastly, all eyes in Tuscaloosa. Ole Miss trying to beat Alabama for the second straight season. This game pitting the Rebels' explosive offense against the Tide's very stingy defense. Coming into the year, a lot of people said, look out for Crimson Tide's front seven, and they have delivered thus far. For Ole Miss, #1 in points per game, #1 in yards per play. Danny, what are you seeing from Chad Kelly, the quarterback?
I tell you, I like what I see in Chad Kelly. There should be an asterisk next to those stats because he's been playing against subpar competition. But when he's back there in the shotgun, he really has a skill set that can utilize a lot of weapons he has to work with. First, see him in the shotgun. I love the anticipation. You're going to see him see a window here. The receiver's not even in your picture. He's got to throw it right up the back ear of that defender. He does perfectly. Leads his receiver right in stride to get those yards after the catch. Then his top-tier arm strength, the ability to stretch the field vertically against a challenged Alabama secondary. This is an area where they have struggled, and you've got some size mismatches back there with a very tall wide receiving core. And then this is the last part that's really that X factor, the mobility. Look, no one's going to say Chad Kelly is going to beat you solely with his feet, but he has enough to keep you honest and break some of those plays for bigger ones and extend them. So I think Alabama's going to have their hands full.
Yeah, and I'm going to stay with the quarterback theme here and talk about Alabama's quarterback situation. All summer long, all spring, had quarterback issues, didn't know who was going to start. Coker gets to start. First week against Wisconsin, looked pretty good, completed 77% of his balls. But then he took a step back last week against Middle Tennessee State. And you'll see, and you talked about Jeremy Johnson throwing in the coverage. Look at Coker throw this ball, a deep ball. He's looking. It's not like he got surprised. The safety to corner their back, this is an interception. Those are the plays that will get you beat against teams like Ole Miss. Again, this is a simple hitch route. You have to be able to complete this, should be picked off. Ole Miss picks that play off, and then you're concerned whether they return it. And then here we go. Red zone, can't make a mistake. That ball should be picked off right there, again, into the double coverage. We've seen so many times early in this season where quarterbacks are just simply throwing the ball into places where there's 2 or 3 defenders. It has to stop if these teams are going to be good.
I'm scratching my head to watch them. I wonder if these offensive coordinators are saying, hey, take a shot. And really,
they're
it looks
scratching
like
their heads, too. They're scratching their heads like, no, Danny, we're not. We are not coaching them.
Yeah, they don't want to lose their job in some of these calls.
Who wins, Ole Miss or Alabama?
I got Ole Miss.
I'm going Ole Miss, too.
Wow. 0-16 all time.
Are you surprised?
I was going to say, you guys are gutsy. I like that about you guys. You're unafraid to take a stand. Speaking of taking a stand, stealing money. Phil Steele is on the way. He will give his predictions some of the biggest games of the weekend, including Bama and Ole Miss. Don't miss it. It's coming up.
AT&T and DirecTV are now one, which means you can watch movies while you're on the move, sitcoms while you sit on those, and even Fargo in Fargo. Binge while you lose weight, and enjoy a good cliffhanger while you hang from the why am I yelling. The revolution will not only be televised, the revolution will be mobilized. Introducing the all-in-one player, only from DirecTV and AT&T.
Hi, Jules. I'm Ben, your new intern.
Don't feel like you have to dress up.
At least I'll stand out.
I don't think you need a suit to do that.
You're awful cute, you know that?
You have a lot of experience. How long can a woman be mad at you for? I assume you talked to her, apologized. Well, what'd you do, send her a tweet?
Thank you, Ben. You're awesome.
Thank you. Okay.
The intern.
You brought a date to a funeral.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
Wowza.
Rated PG-13, September 25th.
So...
Yes?
French fries and I are pregnant. And we're having chicken fries.
Everybody just calm down.
Again?
There's just no stopping true love. Chicken fries are back at Burger King.
It's not long. That tiny moment of anticipation before the next song. But it's all the time we need. We've already studied every note, every beat, to bring you this song. Your song. Right here.
Residence Inn. It's not a room, it's a residence.
New Dannon Oikos Triple Zero is my go-to protein snack.
Protein from yogurt.
Yep, this Greek non-fat yogurt packs 15 grams of protein punch.
But what else?
It has 0 added sugar, 0 artificial sweeteners, and 0 fat.
Dannon Oikos Triple Zero.
Dannon.
Glad to have you with us on College Game Day.
I think this might be one of those Saturdays where crazy things might be happening.
They're going to give me a lightsaber. Live from Tuscaloosa. Make sure you join us for Game Day Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. Now time for a little stealing money with Phil Steele.
Last week, a rare loss for the best bet drops the record to 11-2 straight up, 9-4 ATS. Now let's get to this week's big plays. You know, Notre Dame has already lost their starting quarterback, top 2 running backs, and the starting defensive tackle to injuries. But I like the replacements the Irish have. And in this game, they have got themselves a veteran defense with 9 returning starters that plays the option each and every year. They've got their backs to the wall. It's a circle of the wagons game. I'm going to call for Notre Dame to pull the upset at home, 31-27. Michigan State just had a huge game against Oregon, and they're in a letdown spot. Now, Air Force runs the option, and you have to be focused on every play because one breakdown could result in a touchdown. I'm not concerned with Air Force being down to their backup quarterback as the coaching staff has faith in Carson Roberts. I can't see Dan Antonio running it up versus a service academy, and I think this one's closer than expected. Call it Michigan State 41, Air Force 21. The big game of the week reminds me a little of 2013, where many were calling for an Ole Miss team that averaged 38 points per game to potentially pull the upset over Bama. Bama was fully focused and won the game 25-0. Alabama has my #1 rated defensive front and are at home playing with revenge from their only loss of the regular season. And Nick Saban has won his last 7 SEC opening games by an average of 24.4 points per game, and only once did he win an opener by less than 7 points. I'm going to call it Alabama 28 and Ole Miss 17. I picked USC to make the 2015 playoffs, and they have looked the part so far, putting up 625 yards per game and winning by 50 points per game. USC is the second most complete team in the country this year next to Ohio State. Last year, Stanford lost at Arizona State by 16 and at Oregon by 29, so they can lose by double digits. I'm going to call this one USC 32 and Stanford 14. Miami of Florida is my #1 most improved team this year, and they have quarterback Brad Kye and a deep set of running backs. Miami rates the edge in 6 of the 8 units that I rank in the front of the magazine. They're at home in the afternoon playing in 90-degree heat. Nebraska is switching from a run-based attack to more of a pass attack, and that usually takes time. My best bet this week is Miami of Florida 31, Nebraska 20. Last week, my bonus play was Georgia Southern in an upset, so let's call for another upset with my bonus play this week and take Bowling Green to upset Memphis at home.
All right, Phil, thank you very much. Although there is a bit of a feeling, maybe fudging the lines a bit there, Danny. What do you think?
No, I don't know. I trust old Phil. I trust him with those lines.
Fair enough. Of those games, which one do you agree with? Maybe the one that you disagree with?
I had a problem with the Georgia Tech-Notre Dame game. He picked Notre Dame. I liked Georgia Tech because of Justin Thomas, the quarterback. He mentioned they had faced some of the Armed Forces academies, but I think Justin Thomas is one of the best quarterbacks for this system Paul Johnson has ever seen. I think they're going to have their way.
I like this Notre Dame call. He was completely right up until he got to the Ole Miss-Alabama game. That's where he went wrong, Danny. He picked Alabama. That's just completely wrong. Everything else he was good on, but Ole Miss wins the game against Alabama.
I do like Justin Thomas, my guy. We got great chemistry when it comes to interviews. When it comes to notable spreads on Saturday, Northwestern has allowed a total of 6 points in its first 2 games this season. The home team has won 13 of the last 15 between Auburn and LSU. And BYU looking to pull off a 3rd upset in as many games, maybe another Hail Mary, as the Cougars are currently 16.5-point underdogs to UCLA. Of course, weather can always play a prominent role. With that aspect of the story, Bernie Rayno.
And then the big story is a cold front pushing across Big Ten country on Saturday. That front is going to provide a soaking rain to East Lansing tonight until about 8, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Keep that in mind if you're doing any tailgating at Spartan Stadium. But then for kickoff, clouds will break for some sunshine. There will be a gusty wind. It's going to feel a little bit more like September for once, with readings in the 60s. Now, that frontal boundary will be pushing through Columbus between around 2 and 4:30 tomorrow afternoon. So with that front in Ohio Stadium, there can be a couple of showers. Worst case scenario is that we do get a thunderstorm. I give that about a 30% chance, but if that happens, there will be a delay. We'll kick it off at 79 degrees, but then behind that front, cooler air comes on in. Now, that front will be long gone in South Bend, so by the time we kick things off at 3:30 for the Yellow Jackets and the Fighting Irish, it'll just be windy and cool. As it turns out, mostly sunny. Temperatures are in the 60s. Showdown Saturday in the Southeastern Conference. Auburn, LSU, near record-breaking heat with sunshine, temperatures in the 90s. The College game day crew will be sweating on the set Saturday morning, but when we kick things off Saturday night, temperature will be around 80 degrees, clear skies.
Bernie, look forward to those sweat buckets. As far as college football is concerned, stream every game live at home or on the go. Download the app Watch ESPN. Visit watchespn.com. Enjoy the second half, everybody. It'll be a good one.
Courtyard is the official hotel of Super Bowl 50. So what have you got? That's some next level stuff right there.
NFL bistro chairs, huh? No. Your order number is 2.
It's kind of cumbersome. I guess my question is why?
To see a great idea, go to Courtyard.com for your chance to wake up in the stadium on Super Bowl Sunday. Courtyard, official hotel of the NFL.
You don't hurt yourself.
Whoa, whoa.
I think this is the end. Wait. To the north. And then a hero, and then a hero comes along, and then a hero comes along.
Hey, time to be heroes, guys. Game of War. Download and play for free now from the App Store.
The Trojans of the Cardinal always seem to deliver. Typically a hard-fought game.
They're going to attack you in so many different ways.
Touchdown, USC. What a great catch. An important early season Pac-12 collision.
Stanford, USC, Saturday at 8 Eastern on ABC and streaming live on Watch ESPN.
Lucius Lyon should never walk the streets again.
I gotta get my company back. This is about us taking the empire.
I gotta get out of here. Your mom's up to something.
In the next 24 hours, you will get our company. Orange is a good color for you.
They say it's the new black.
Empire returns this Wednesday on Fox.
Wake up to something new. A better way to start your day is here. That old gimmick, by that old guard, put it to bed. Say goodbye to money down the drain, and say hello to this. A close, smooth shave at half the price. Ordered online and delivered right to your door. So don't be any old Tom or Dick. Be a Harry. Wake up to a sharp, handsome, less expensive way to shave. Wake up to Harry's.
We welcome you back to the 2015 Geico ESPN High School Showcase as we find out with you all season long who's next. Waynesboro, Mississippi, 7-3 your score. Wayne County and Archbishop Rummel in a close game so far. Thanks for joining us once again. Jason Benetti, Craig Hawbert, and look, it's the era of the spread offense, right? Everybody's winging the ball down the field. 7-3 at halftime is a little refreshing, isn't it?
Absolutely. If you have good defense, it's tough for a spread offense to get points on the board. A pair of ESPN 300 D linemen, number 3 rated corner in the country, they have made points tough to come by.
Take a look at our first half stats presented by Geico. And Archbishop Rummel has run the ball fairly well. The offenses have been stalled by the defenses so far. And Benito Jones, 3 assists, 1 solo tackle. He's pressured the quarterback once. Tyree Evans, the 7 tackles so far. And Guidry, the Arkansas commit, as well. Benito Jones, Craig, great day so far.
5-star defensive tackle. He has been difficult to handle. You see against the run here, getting off the football, using his hands, making plays in the backfield. The power to get the push upfield. He wasn't able to secure the tackle on the sack, but you watch the effort to get back in on the play. And there he helped set up a 4th down offensive play. He has been outstanding through the first half, either making plays on his own or helping create opportunities for his teammates. An outstanding defensive line class in 2016, led by the #1 overall player in the country, Rashawn Gary, Ed Oliver, who we will see next week out of Houston, Rashard Lawrence out of the state of Louisiana, Big Dexter Lawrence, and then Benito Jones rounding out that top 5. Phenomenal group of big men along the defensive front, all those guys 5 stars. You know, and when I look at Benito Jones, there's a few players who I can compare him to, but the initial one for me was Dominique Easley. He was a 5-star defensive lineman coming out back in 2010, and really what it was not necessarily imposing type size, but difference-making first-step quickness, a great motor. He had some injury problems at Florida, but when he was on the field, he was a real handful. I see the same type of ability in Benito Jones in the type of build and first-step quickness.
There's the class, including Benito Jones, for Ole Miss right now.
You know, he leads that class, but also offense. You think about it, big Chad Kelly right now doing an outstanding job. Took a little bit of a crazy route from Clemson to the JUCO routes to get to Ole Miss, but they got Shea Patterson, #2 rated dual threat quarterback in his class. We will see him a little later in the year out of IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. He is one of those guys, good mechanics, but most importantly, he's just a gamer. He's a gunslinger. He seems to really kind of fit the mold, and I think he'd be a very similar type player to what they have there now in Chad Kelly.
You mentioned Gary earlier. We'll see his Paramus team at IMG. Benito Jones, in comparing him to Gary, we're talking just a couple spots in the ESPN 300. What is Ole Miss getting, and how can he get better?
Well, how can you get, you know, listen, it's the little things, continuing to use your hands, watching your pad level. Rashawn Gary has much more prototypical size for a defensive lineman, I think a little bit more versatile. For Ole Miss fans, who he reminds me of is kind of a combination of Isaac Gross and Robert Condici. He has that, maybe not that difference-making kind of wow-type size. Isaac Gross was undersized, but explosive and strong. And then when you think about Robert Condici, the athleticism, the explosiveness, I would kind of put Benito Jones for the Rebel fans, and they would probably know who I'm talking about, somewhere in between Isaac Gross and Robert Condici.
You saw Ole Miss just a couple of years ago not rated. So for teams that are down, maybe in the SEC, that are a little bit buried by Ole Miss, LSU, Alabama, something like that, all is not lost, right? I mean, you can jump back on the radar fairly quickly.
Absolutely. It really all started in 2013 when U3s really put together that top 5 class and have been able to keep momentum going.
Second half underway. Wayne County gets it first. And another kick out of bounds. That's our 3rd of the night.
I do not remember seeing this many kicks out of bounds in a while. And what's really interesting is that I don't know where Clint Eastwood is, but it's kind of an
illegal kick out of bounds by the kicking team. Ball be placed 25 yards from the previous spot.
The good, bad, and the ugly of kicking. Took a little bit of time to get there. I was going to deliver that punchline.
That's from your flea flicker joke book. Takes a while to develop, but always pays off. So they're going to go ahead and take the penalty, and Bollinger gets a little pat on the chest from his buddy Zach White, the junior.
And as Wayne gets ready to take the field here, one of the things we remember too with Ole Miss is they had great success on a recruiting trail in 2013, but every year they've been able to increase their win total. So when you get good players and you can marry it with on-field success, you have a chance to keep that going.
Stewart keeps it himself, flag down. Yeah, he's not going to get much anyway. Ample yellow markers so far tonight in eastern Mississippi.
Holding. on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
One of the things that I really like about Christian Fulton as a prospect is he's not afraid to come up and support the run. And there you're going to see a little bit of a hole there by number 8 for Wayne, Will Magnum. That's what drew the flag. You want corners who are not only athletic, who can cover, but are not afraid to come up and support the run. That is something Will Fulton will do. He's a very physical player as well.
Fulton, one of the top players in the country. There's Briston Guidry, the Arkansas commit, the senior defensive lineman. He and Fulton together, a 1-2 punch.
They're the number 3 rated corner in the country. We spoke to this a little early. That great frame to develop, but excellent height and length for a corner. Is also very instinctive and savvy as well. A great feel for the game.
Intercepted, picked off by Derek Munson. And Rameek Wallace tracks him down from behind, but Munson inside the red zone for Rummel.
Stewart is looking to get this play over the middle. We had talked about Fulton going the opposite side. His receiver, number 6, Jonathan McDougall, falls down.
Well, you mentioned Fulton. He's been the interception magnet, had 11 in 6 games last year to close the season. This time it's the linebacker Munson setting up first and goal. Maurice Bailey, their north-south runner, is in. And he is bottled up by big Benito Jones, the Ole Miss commit.
It all starts with number 30, Tyler Hopkins. He's going to go ahead and he's going to set the edge. Great job then. Benito Jones, you see him working down the line. Hopkins forces the running back inside to the pursuing Jones. Nice job by the edge defender, and then the hustle by the 5-star. They clean it up.
Jones, both pretty strong pass rush and run support.
Absolutely. He's got to learn to be more consistent with bringing his hands and separating, but he's extremely powerful. It's a first step quickness that sets him apart, but he could be a well-rounded player as well.
Jones in the middle of the line and some movement there. He was the one in the backfield greeting Chase Forcade.
Got a dead ball, offsides on the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
5-yard penalty. Replay, second down. Ball now
Jay Roth,
the
21st year head coach at Archbishop Rummel, will certainly take the yardage. The former Rummel quarterback himself, with a 2-0 team on the road, playing a tough schedule. Bailey again, and Jones just stands over top of him. 3rd and goal.
Maurice Bailey, the ball carrier.
See there, a combination of the power, and when he keeps his pad level low, he's extremely difficult to try to move off the football. You go to recruitingnation.com and you click on Benito Jones's player page. There you see some of the vitals, the height and the weight and the rankings, but you can read a complete scouting report that goes through the measurables, how he is against the run, the pass, the overall effort.
Very detailed. You write them all up on the lineman. Lot to sift through there if you're an Ole Miss fan or an FBS football fan. 3rd and goal, 4K is drilled. Tyler Hopkins took him down and created a big loss. Larry Robinson, the left tackle, flopped on top of it.
Hopkins just comes off the edge, unblocked from the blind side with the hit, forces the football loose. Tyree Evans tries to go for the scoop and score, doesn't secure it. Good awareness by number 75, Larry Robinson, the Southern Miss verbal commit, to be able to maintain possession for Rummel.
Field goal for Bollinger, 34 and good. And 10-3 Rummel with the lead. The officials talk it over. Marker down.
Got holding on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty. Replay, 4th down.
Points off the board. Holding on the field goal, Craig.
Yeah. This has been a game that has been an odd mixture of some really good play, some big plays, mixed in with a lot of just mental errors as well. And there's 2 plays in a row, letting the defender loose off the edge, and then a holding penalty that take points off the board and moves Rummel back.
Bollinger had it blocked. Derek Munson, who had the interception, has to dive on the ball. Boy, Tyree Evans in that line right now is unstoppable. They've got 11 tackles for loss and a blocked field goal.
And this is why mental errors kill you as a coach. You take points off the board. This time, Wayne is able to get a blocked field goal and stop Rummel from putting more points back on the board.
Jones got a hand on it, 7-3.
When did leaving work on time become an act of courage? It's time to take back our lives. Can an SUV be your escape vehicle? You have no idea. Introducing the all-new, totally redesigned Hyundai Tucson, the official pace car of living.
We understand that travel means having a lot to balance. Our job is to help keep you centered. That's why at Fairfield, we give you everything you need so you can perform your best. Stay amazing. Fairfield Inn & Suites by Marriott.
Benito Jones in on the field goal block. The Ole Miss commit, number 11 in the ESPN 300, has Wayne County in it, down a score. And if you've got a question about college football recruiting, anything going on the recruiting trail, especially SEC-wise, Derek Tyson is answering your questions all night long at ESPN RNFball or hashtag AskRN. Ask Derek Tyson your thoughts, questions, concerns about your team maybe in the SEC.
Usually not a lot of questions from SEC fans about recruiting. Usually take a laissez-faire attitude towards it. But a great chance tonight to ask some questions.
Yeah, definitely a hands-off fan base. Freddie Jordan across the 45. And very close to the marker on a first down carry. It took Fulton to knock him down. Yeah, with Ole Miss, Alabama coming up, you know some folks are looking to tomorrow, but also the future at the same time.
LSU, Auburn as well.
Jordan again, a little sidestep, and Jacob Macaluso, the linebacker, after a gain of about 2 for Jordan.
And I do want to say, well, Rummel defense is on the field. We talked early on about how talented number 1 Christian Fulton is, and we haven't said his name a lot tonight, much like we have Benito Jones there. But usually for a corner, if you're not talking about him, usually speaks to how good he is, how well he's playing.
Guidry nearly got held, was creating the pressure. The Arkansas commit Briston Guidry in on that play, and Fulton has been that shutdown corner they like. Number 35 in the ESPN 300.
And Rummel is really, you see they're making that motion to, they're looking for the potential of grounding, and there goes the flag.
Fulton's still got a lot of names on that board, by the way, potential suitors.
Most would say they feel LSU is the team with the momentum.
On the offense, that's a 15-yard penalty.
There's a grounding penalty again in high school football. Doesn't matter you get it back to the line. Doesn't matter you're out of the pocket. If there's no receiver in the area, it's grounding by rule.
Well, what's interesting, it was a long time for that flag to be thrown. And there was a lot of lobbying there by Rummel. We're going to see Stewart get flushed out of the pocket to the right.
Jacob Foy's down as well, the tackle for Wayne County. Touchdown's good for Cooley, 21-9. Wayne County trying to come back here at home.
Number 99, Sam Servat, you see working towards the pile, and he runs into his own teammate with the knee, and you saw Jason there get a little bit hyperextended. Hopefully he will be okay. Did not see what it was for the Wayne offensive lineman.
Senior defensive end down Servat, who's really upped his production this season. Tonight on ESPN, after the Florida State BC game, Sports Center has a complete post-game wrap-up, plus Scott Van Pelt live at midnight. Stan Barrett closes the night from Los Angeles. End your day on a highlight with Sports Center at night. You gotta love Scott Van Pelt on Tim Kirkchin. Have you seen what he does with Tim Kirkchin? He does the Baltimore accent, and Tim just can't handle it. He's always laughing. Anything involving the letter O. Van Pelt has him rolling in the studio. So see if Tim's on the next couple days as Servat comes off. And Foy helped up as well, the offensive lineman for Wayne County, a team that's trying to push back in this game against a Rummel defense that's allowed only 2 touchdowns all season, and you just saw one of them.
Yeah, well, Wayne fighting back here. Put some points on the board, and they've certainly have some big strike ability. But obviously a lead, something that Rummel 2-back. They want to get physical. See here in this next coming possession if they can take advantage of that run game and bleed some time.
Chris Cooley from a yard out just made it a little bit more of a game here. 21-9, 10:06 to go. And they're going to go for 2 to make it 21-11. You can debate this back and forth. Go for 1 now, make it 11. Go for 2 now, make it 10. You aren't good at math. Stewart had it tipped and incomplete. So now if you're down 2 scores, field goal doesn't help you. It's a 12-point game. But Cooley was the bell cow on the drive. He gets him in from 1 yard away, and here comes Wayne County.
When did leaving work on time become an act of courage? It's time to take back our lives. Can an SUV be your escape vehicle? You have no idea. Introducing the all-new, totally redesigned Hyundai Tucson, the official pace car of living.
New Dannon Oikos 000 is my go-to protein snack.
Protein from yogurt.
Yep, this Greek non-fat yogurt packs 15 grams of protein punch.
But what else?
It has 0 added sugar, 0 artificial sweeteners, and 0 fat.
Dannon Oikos 000.
Dannon.
Like I think they should make a move, make a rise, so it's understood. It's all right now. It's all good. If everybody in the spot, keep it loud, make it hot, don't stop, y'all. To the beat drop.
Residence Inn. It's not a room, it's a residence.
An important early season Pac-12 collision.
Stanford, USC, Saturday at 8 Eastern on ABC.
Geico ESPN High School Showcase is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Those are photos from the Pie Bowl that they have at Archbishop Rummel before the season. They run a scrimmage against each other, an inter-squad scrimmage, and the winning coaching staff gets to pie the losing coaching staff. Jay Roth brought it back, and he took the easy way out the first couple years after he brought it back. He was the overseer.
Yeah.
He was up at a tower. You never lose if you're the overseer.
He was in a pie-free zone.
That's right. He was anti-pie. early on. He took part this year. His team won. He got to buy his defensive coordinator, and all was not lost. Coming up soon in Metairie, the Dunk Tank postseason. But they like to have some fun, but they're a very buttoned-up team. They won a couple of state titles in recent years, back in 2013, the last one, and they lead 21-9 on the road against a very tough defense in Wayne County. Christian Fulton, one of the top cornerbacks in the country, makes something out of nothing across the 30-yard line. Archbishop Rummel out of Metairie, Louisiana. Here's some of the top players in the country. 2 of the top 10 in the nation from Louisiana.
Yeah, you look at that left-hand column, a lot of blank spaces, which for me at this point makes LSU the most interesting class to watch. You're currently sitting at number 2. You could make an argument that of those 8 players remaining, at least LSU has a very good shot to get 5 of them. So the Tigers do as good of a job as anybody at keeping in-state talent at home. There's still a lot out there for LSU to be able to potentially land on the recruiting trail. Louisiana, an important state to watch on the recruiting trail.
Movement on the line for the right side. Looked like Major and Weller.
Have a dead ball, illegal procedure on the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
Well, LSU's done a pretty good job of keeping guys in-state over the past year.
Absolutely. If there's been one program that's kind of been able to create some problems for them, it's been Alabama. One of the other big dogs, great success. And really where it's been has been that I-20 breaking point along Louisiana. North of it, Crimson Tide have had a lot of success. South of it, LSU has been really strong in keeping players at home.
You a budding cartographer as well? You making maps now in your spare time? Second down, short gain for Israel Tucker. He's an impressive defensive lineman, Tyree Evans. He's got an offer from Troy, 99 in navy blue. You see him there, and he can tackle. He can celebrate too.
Well, you play well, you want to be happy about your play, but certainly he's a young man who's shown very well tonight. We spoke about it. Coach said Troy with an offer. I would imagine if he continues to progress during his senior year with that frame and good get off, we could see that offer list grow.
Rummel with that strong running game, only about a yard that time. Benito Jones was involved along with the linebacker Hunter James. And talking about Troy now, if Evans ended up going to Troy, there are some good pass rushers to come through. The guys like DeMarcus Ware.
Absolutely, you know, and it's still early in the process in the senior year. There's one thing, the recruiting cycle has gotten so accelerated, but every year there's always players who develop and come on the radar during the senior season. So they're really right up until the end. Every year that I've been doing this, there's always been a handful of guys who really would emerge, late bloomers, under the radar type players. I'm not saying necessarily Tyree Evans is a guy who's going to skyrocket up, but certainly a player worthy of some more looks, and wouldn't be surprised if that offer list grows some.
Timeout, Rummel. What can you do if you're a young year senior, right? What can you do to really up your level of offers other than have some good games?
Well, being productive is one of them. You know, I mean, obviously, if you want to gain attention, you have to play well, especially if you're coming along a little bit later in the process, maybe a little bit late to develop, get your film out there. There's certainly with social media, there's a lot more ways to kind of get recognized, but ultimately, it helps too to have a player like Benito Jones on your team. Now, he's already committed, so maybe that lessens the traffic that comes through your school, but it certainly helps to have a very high-profile teammate.
Jones committed to Ole Miss, number 7 in the country. Georgia, Alabama, LSU. SEC is getting tougher and tougher to recruit.
Absolutely. I mean, this is where everybody in the nation wants to try to get down into the South and find players, and that's really a big part of the SEC's success is their footprint is as talented and as deep as any other region in the country.
Got to get to the 41. And Benito Jones, nice recovery on Tucker. 4th down, big stop for Wayne County. So number 11 in the ESPN 300, makes the stop and gets defense off the field.
A big stop for this Wayne defense. Now, we saw earlier, Wayne's had some problems getting their punt off, but we saw a little bit earlier in the game, too. Rummel was a little bit slow to try to get that punt off. It was deflected as well. Special teams have certainly become must-see TV in this game.
Major, high kick. And not a favorable bounce for Larry Major. 28-yard punt, no return. Wayne County back to the controls, down 12 at home on the comeback trail. Archbishop Rummel's cheerleaders rooting on this team from Metairie, Louisiana, leading 21-9, 7:37 to go in the game. They've been impressive, both defensively and, you know, the senior Forcade, Chase Forcade, has been strong enough and very smart with his decisions at quarterback.
Absolutely. One of the things is, speaking with Coach Roth, he said he makes good decisions with the football. Well, we've seen that tonight. Also some toughness sitting in the pocket. There is Wayne breaks off the big run.
Shadarius Chambers, the junior, compact, powerful, first down, gain of 21. He ran into Aaron Brule downfield.
And that's it. You get that first play, you have some success. Now you start amping up the tempo.
Stewart this time gets dumped by Munson, the junior. Second down on the way. 7 and change to go. 12-point game. A former free safety, the leader of the defense for Archbishop Rummel, trying to keep this a 2-score game. Chambers gets hit high by Guidry, the senior Arkansas commit, decked him.
Yeah, Shadarius Chambers, he's built low to the ground, listed at 5'5", 155 pounds. So I don't know if Guidry intentionally went high.
He has no choice at 6'3", 290. First series, Chambers has seen significant action on offense. Guidry couldn't make the sack. Stewart zigzags to the 26. First down, Wayne County.
There you see the athleticism to keep the player alive. As you mentioned, number 7, the Arkansas Verbal. Briston Guidry was able to get pressure, but keeping the play alive and moving the chains on the scramble.
Tempo high for Wayne County. Stewart caught by Guidry again and finds his way out of bounds. Munson forced into duty on the tackle once more.
The athleticism to be able to extend plays. Here you see a little bit of the inexperience. Could have hung in there a little bit longer. He was getting the protection from his offensive line. Sometimes that athleticism pays dividends. Sometimes you're a little bit quick to try to lean on it.
Chambers, good burst. Inside the 5, Chambers, touchdown!
The frame is small. The heart and the fight is big. You saw that on that tough run there by Shadarius Chambers. Again, only 5'5", 155 pounds. But if you don't wrap up, doesn't matter. He fought through those tackles.
Looks like a matchbox car, runs like a truck. Chambers, 24 yards of thunder for Wayne County, and the War Eagles are within 5.
I thought you said you were going to test drive Buick first.
I guess the test drive last night went well.
Actually, I'm still on it.
You know we're test driving this Buick for 24 hours, right? Yeah. So what are you doing? Test washing it. Okay, well, let me know when you're done. I'm going to take a test shopping.
Introducing the Buick 24 Hours of Happiness Test Drive. It's on your terms and a better way to take a test drive.
We understand that travel means having a lot to juggle. That's why at Fairfield, we give you everything you need so you can perform your best. Stay amazing. Fairfield Inn & Suites by Marriott.
Real fruit and silky smooth Dove dark chocolate. Dove fruit. Choose a pleasure less ordinary.
So why the Marines? Because this is the land that I love, the country I'm honored to serve.
So Rummel ripped off 21 straight points. Now Wayne County's got the last 13. It's 21-16, under 6 to go. Team from Louisiana, team from Mississippi. And Shadarius Chambers, all 5'5" of him, with a 24-yard touchdown run. And now, this Wayne County defense led by Benito Jones, that man 99, Tyree Evans. Has the crowd a little bit riled up. Two timeouts apiece, 5:53 to go. Christian Fulton, one of the top corners in the country. Across the 45 and just short of midfield. Big touchdown run for Chambers. Let's do a little before and after from a Louisiana kid, Leonard Fournette, high school to college.
Number one to the college level, just about getting comfortable. He got up to a bit of a slow start.
4K and batted around. Kimbrough did haul it in. He looked like he didn't want to for a moment with Deion Smith bearing down on him.
Absolutely. You know, they got great initial push. Wayne did. They had the right play called to slip the running back out into the flat. Had it been a clean pass and catch, they had a chance for a big gain, but he couldn't secure it. Number 2, Smith, came in to quickly make the tackle.
Milk jug sales through the roof. Screen pass. Tucker, incomplete. Never had it. Third down. Boy, Tyree Evans and Benito Jones, the Ole Miss commit, have been all over those screen plays.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They've been trying to use their speed against him, but the second-level defenders, the linebackers, are doing a great job of rallying to the football to limit plays after the catch from that point. Incomplete, setting up a 3rd and long.
Has his man, David Hensley, the senior, for a first down.
You're getting pressure. You get your quarterback on the move. Nice job here by 4K, working to his right. Eyes downfield. You see him square up his shoulder and deliver the pass. A big conversion there for Archbishop Rummel. That conversion quieted things a little, I stress a little.
Tucker on first down. Benito Jones, the future Ole Miss Rebel, gets rid of it.
Benito Jones, he's so explosive. You see him right at the top of your screen, just pushing right past Larry Major. I told you a little bit earlier, low pads win. He got underneath number 62's pads. The explosiveness and the power just drove him back into the backfield.
His coaches say the physical maturity has improved. His overall understanding of the game has improved. 2nd and 12, huge game for Jones. Forcade into traffic, incomplete for Colby Brunet with Denzel Bonner, the senior linebacker, hugging it.
Number 30, Tyler Hopkins, who we've seen make quite a few plays tonight. He buzzed right in front of the receiver and I think broke to concentration, leading to the incompletion.
Forcade was backpedaling off that snap too, sensing the pressure coming from this defensive line.
And in one of those, sometimes the pressure's not there, but getting it throughout the game sometimes accelerates your clock. You had a chance to step into it there, but as you mentioned, you start to feel the pressure, even sometimes when it's not there, when you're getting it a lot.
Looked like early movement by Evans on the defensive line. We'll check the marker.
Got a dead ball, outside on the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Replay, 3rd down.
Top of the screen there, Tyree Evans, a little bit of an early jump. Sometimes you got those ears pinned back. You're ready to go, but you got to watch the football. You got to hold your water. I've seen that a few times tonight here from Wayne. Such an explosive front three.
Got to have the 20. Evans couldn't get him. Forcade. End zone. Incomplete for Hensley. He was out of bounds.
Initial pressure put Forcade on the move. Finds his receiver at the back of the end zone. It's hard to tell with his back to us whether he has possession because the right foot is going to be in bounds.
Looked like he's got it secured.
86, Jamar Chase blocked the view on that one. The right foot, watch, it's inbounds. It's close to the possession.
They're going for it, no field goal. No replay review in high school football. Intercepted. Deion Smith, the senior safety.
A nice read and jump by the safety, number 2 senior, Deion Smith. Forcade rolling out. Watch Smith flash into the screen, does a nice job reading up, becomes the receiver. See the ball skills to go and finish the INT.
He's the guy that coaches really trust in the defensive secondary, and he's got his 2nd pick of the year. Two timeouts for the home team. And boy, Chambers, the junior, has really lit up this 4th quarter.
He's become the go-to guy here for Wayne.
Smith got him the ball back, 2nd and 3. And Chambers has the 1st down according to the spot by the far side official.
He's running extremely hard, but also when you're built that low to the ground, it's very easy to kind of get lost in the shuffle as well.
1st down. Chambers out, Cooley in at tailback. Stewart, sideline, Wallace. Incomplete, out of bounds. This was 21-3. Archbishop Rummel scored 21 unanswered points. And Wayne County with 2 timeouts and 2:39 to go. Cooley knew where to go. Jacob Macaluso, the senior Mike linebacker, makes it 3rd down.
With the time on the clock, Jason, there's no need for Wayne to alter what they do offensively. Can still stay balanced, especially too with Reggie Stewart. He's got the ability to make plays with his arm, but is not a pure passer. You don't want to put him in a position where he's got to continually drop back and throw it up.
3rd down, Stewart goes down. Macaluso fired through, 4th down.
You know, especially when you're getting pressure like that. And one of the things that's really difficult to learn is that feel and knowing when to get rid of it. He's sitting back in the pocket. Nice job by number 44, Macaluso, breaking through the blocker. That's a big sack there for Rummel.
Wayne County's used a timeout, so 1 left. You only have 2 left. You use it when you're 4th and forever. That may be a timeout they want back, as Macaluso, the former defensive end, back to linebacker in the first week, has had a nice game tonight.
Yeah, well, it's 4th and forever, but you got to make sure you get this play right. Especially coming off a negative play. You're going to need a play here from your quarterback, Stewart. The best thing here to do is number 19, Ramik Wallace. He's their big play guy, but you got to get Stewart on the move.
The Macaluso fan base pleased right now with his defensive drive. 4th and 17.
Number 1, Christian Fulton, the ESPN 300 corner. He's lined up on the bottom of your screen against number 19, Ramik Wallace.
Stewart under duress. He gets it away. It is incomplete. Fulton was there to break it up. One of the top corners in the country gets Rummel the ball back.
You figured they were going to want to go to their go-to guy, so Rummel countered by lining him up over Wallace, and you're going to see the pressure. This is not where he feels most comfortable. Initially, number 7, you see there at the top of the left of your screen, Guidry forced Stewart back into the pocket. He wanted to try to get outside, never really felt comfortable. Happy feet led to the off-bounds throw, and then Christian Fulton, anytime he's in the area, great feel for the football, breaks up the pass. So there you saw the first line defender, Guidry, helping to create the pressure. Then there in the back end, the other ESPN 300 defender, Fulton, with the breakup.
Still available for an FBS school. Tucker is stopped at the 20, and some extracurricular stuff going on. 1 timeout left for Wayne County. Don't forget, Saturday at 9 a.m. ESPN, and watch ESPN live from Tuscaloosa. College Game Day built by the Home Depot. Reese, Herbie, Dez, Coach Corso, everybody with 3 hours of the best in college football analysis. Some big games this weekend. Alabama, Ole Miss. Sneaky good game. Notre Dame, Georgia Tech. UCLA, BYU. LSU, Auburn. Big
USC
games.
Stanford out west.
How about that? The 8 o'clock game tomorrow night. USC Stanford, Pac-12 opener. Wayne County conserves the timeout. Rummel has 2 remaining. And Jay Roth uses one of those 2 timeouts with 1:08 to go. Well, we talked about that Ole Miss-Alabama game. Obviously of interest to folks watching this game. Ole Miss so far this year has just been a juggernaut. 149 points in 2 games. Good luck to Bama's defense.
Well, it all started, we've talked about it a few times, having that 2013 class. You've seen some of those key players from that year contributing. One of them right there, number 5, Robert Condici, was a #1 overall player. Laquan Treadwell, the #1 wide receiver in his class. He is an absolute beast, tough to stop. They've been able to each year tack on to the win column, continue the consistency on the recruiting trail. Those two have combined to a situation where they beat Alabama a year ago. Right now we're in a big-time matchup this coming Saturday as well. Both of them going into that game with top 10 classes on the recruiting trail.
You see him on Friday, you see him on Saturday. It's been the way things have gone the last couple of years. I mean, guys get better. They're in the ESPN 300, and they become stars in college football.
Absolutely. Getting on the campus. Can you help us win? We're going to get you on the football field.
Second down, 1 timeout left for Wayne County. And the ball is on the deck. Oh, my. Forcade flopped on it. And timeout called. Final one for Wayne County.
That is coming out of that timeout. I can assure you that was the one thing they didn't want to happen. To get a clean quarterback center exchange and to hold on to the football. And it looked like there Forcade started to pull out a little bit too quickly there before he had secured the football.
All right, time for tonight's Who Am I? Where we tell you about somebody who played in high school, then to college, maybe the NFL. Born in New Orleans, Louisiana, a speed limit on the Ole Miss campus is set to my jersey number. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champ, and he's been in the news this week.
Yes.
Craig Hubbard, your thoughts?
You know, the jersey number speed limit on campus can make it go either way.
Yeah.
It's the third clue that I think is a separator that I think has a lot of people at home jumping off the couch going, I know this one.
One person maybe jumping off the couch is Rashad Jennings, because the answer is Eli Manning. Don't score a touchdown. I mean, how wild was that this week?
Yeah, I mean, the NFL season has gotten off to a very interesting start. We saw it last night, too, with Kansas City and Denver as well.
The moral of the story is score a touchdown when you have a chance to score the touchdown. And Rummel in the red zone, 60 seconds left. If you break one off, you're likely going to win the game anyway. No timeouts for Wayne County, 3rd down. Keep it on the ground. Running room for Tucker, and he scores the touchdown with 52 seconds remaining.
With that pressure up front between those big 3 in the middle, probably didn't want to go inside to try to prevent a fumble, try to get off tackle on a stretch play in a little bit of space. And then we see there, number 2, the senior Israel Tucker, who missed his entire junior year with an ACL injury, back to form with a key touchdown here for Rummel.
That's blocked. Bollinger's had a rough night tonight. Benito Jones had the block earlier, and Wayne County still within 11. So every week on our high school football broadcast, we decided we're going to play fantasy football, especially because of all the guff that I've gotten for being a baseball guy. So we got to pick at least one freshman every week, and we may point you to the bottom there, who's in the lead at this point. The truck has had a great first week. Craig did not. Got Malik Zaire injured.
I got you all right where I want you.
Well, so this week, you like Jared Goff. Dalvin Cook's already playing. This selection was made before the game.
Yes,
just so everybody knows we're on the
based on the last score I saw, I may not have picked Dalvin Cook had I known.
I know you don't like the pick, and the truck, our producer, director, everybody on our crew has chosen Boykin, Chubb, and Wade. I know you don't like me for taking Ezekiel Elliott against the Huskies from DeKalb.
I said it week 1. I'm only going to pick players that are in games that include 2 Power 5 teams.
You said you'll do it the man's way.
I was going to raise the bar for myself. Thus far, it is working against me, but still a long season to go.
Dalvin Cook, 15 carries, 54 yards to this point. So
we get 100 yards, 100 points per yard, right?
You get 100 points for 2.5 yards a carry, 3 yards a carry. 52 seconds left. Wayne County's going to have to really hurry. Chambers Ball loose. And that's going to do it. So Chambers puts it on the deck. Shane Brother to the sophomore. Linebacker recovers.
Well, we've seen a lot of action tonight on special teams. Hit low, but the helmet right on the football. And that was number 9, Derek Munson, who we see made quite a few plays tonight that jarred the football loose.
We saw some great defensive work from some future FBS players tonight. Guys like Christian Fulton, who broke up the pass on the 4th down. Number 35 in the ESPN 300 recruiting rankings. You can see him on the ESPN.com Recruiting Nation page. Benito Jones, the defensive lineman, on the other side for Wayne County. And Briston Guidry with some strong plays defensively, especially rushing the passer.
Absolutely. We expected to see a lot from those 3 guys tonight. They all certainly performed.
NFL Live on the way with 30 seconds and moving. We'll be in Texas, Houston next week, Thursday on ESPNU. Some talented players there as well.
Ed Oliver, Houston Cougars verbal commit. We saw Benito Jones tonight. Ed Oliver, a very similar type player, explosive, high motor, another 5-star defensive lineman that we will see a week from now.
That'll do it. One more knee, and Archbishop Rummel and former Rummel Raider Jay Roth goes to 3-0, the 27-16 victory on the road out of state at Wayne County in Mississippi. How about the defensive effort tonight that we saw from Rummel?
Both programs really played great defense. We saw some interesting special teams play tonight, but great game. Wayne came back, certainly gave a great fight as well.
We'll wrap it up for you coming up after this. 27-16 Rummel with the win away from home.
Need to book a flight? Check out cheapoair.com. Cheapo Air offers you the
Rummel with the win. The defense and Arkansas commit Briston Guidry, a strong night on the road.
The Arkansas coming off a rough weekend in the loss to Toledo, but certainly a lot for Razorback fans to be excited about. Briston Guidry, ESPN 300 D tackle, fought all night. Got a lot of penetration in the backfield, showed good hustle, making second effort plays, which you see when you turn on the film of this young man. Having Christian Fulton in the backfield in the secondary certainly helps, but creating pressure up front is a great luxury for Archbishop Rummel, and Briston Guidry certainly brought it tonight.
Number 145 of the ESPN 300, Guidry and his team with a 27-16 win in Mississippi. Going to see some high-level players next week. Again, Geico ESPN high school football coverage continues on ESPNU Thursday, 8 Eastern, Montgomery and Westfield from Spring, Texas. Coming up next, NFL Live final score 27-16 for Craig Hawbert and our entire crew. I'm Jason Benetti as we say good night from Mississippi.